stock and your book. This is I think you're so passionate about it. We had multiple conversations before this talk. How did you get into stock trading, and what inspired you to write a book about it?
Look, that's a great question. I've never thought of actually writing a book about the investing in the stock market. I've never thought of actually writing a book of that nature. So I have a lot of colleagues, friends, and family members who know that I invest in the stock market, but also in real estate and other venture. And usually they believe, I offer good advice, and they used to come to me for those advice. And many actually said, look, your advice makes a lot of sense. The principle and the framework that you follow, tend to yield good outcomes and results, especially when it comes to mindset and discipline. Why don't you, write about it? And that's where the book idea actually came into play. So it wasn't something I've actually wanted to write. It was more many requests coming from colleagues, friends, to actually write about the subject.
In your book, when I read the synopsis or the parts that were published at the time, you urged almost everybody, to go into stock trading and venture into that. In my opinion, and this is my personal view, complex or scary world. Right? How and why? Is it that important, really?
Yeah, I think you should have stocks as part of your financial portfolio, regardless of what you do. One, it's probably the investment that gives the highest return. And if you adopt the right, principles, mindsets, and discipline, it's probably the investment also that is the safest and probably the simplistic as well. Especially now with technology, you can do it, whether you're in the corporate or not, whether you are part of a firm that actually does for a living, whether you do it for a living. So it doesn't matter who you are, you can actually invest in the stock market. And you can start, early in life. My son started investing when he was 13. Obviously, he invested through my portfolio and my accounts and platforms, but he started when he was 13. Others can start with any amount that they have that they don't need, in terms of, paying their expenses and so on. So you can actually start anytime. You can start almost with any amount. And now with technology, it's very easy to actually, get in 10 minutes. You can create an account, you can transfer the money into that account, and you can start trading. So it is the safest and probably the most profitable line of investment, assuming you follow certain principles and you have the discipline and the mindset to do so.